Live pictures right now from Krasinski Square in Warsaw as President Trump is in Poland this morning ahead of the G20 summit. But the mainstream media already looking to Friday, tomorrow, hyping the president's meeting with Vladimir Putin.
President Trump faces a tough trip here with some uncomfortable conversations.
The European community is worried about unpredictable, erratic leaders, not only one in North Korea, but one in the United States of America.
Well, it kind of sounds like the press already come to their own conclusion to slam the president before the meeting even got underway with Mr. Putin. Joining us right now is CBN News reporter David Brody. David, what is going on right now?
Donald Trump is erratic, apparently, and so therefore, there's no way he's going to have any sort of success with Putin. And Steve, there's a story out there as well, mainstream media story, about how Trump is just being provided tweet-sized nuggets of information, like he can't handle more than 140 characters of information. Look, Steve, the reality is this president has been underestimated for a very long time. The media got it wrong. When he jumped into this race, the media is still getting it wrong, and he's been one step ahead of the media at all turns, and that's what really frustrates them.
You were right about them getting it wrong. Remember, at the get-go, it was kind of like Putin and Trump are allies, and this is all going to be very chummy, and then we heard about the collusion stuff, and then we heard the president say, I can't imagine relations between the countries being worse than they are right now. I want to show you what Vanity Fair put in a headline. Is Trump about to get played by Putin, was the headline there. What do you make of that?
Yeah, Steve, I got to tell you, it's interesting. I did some research going back to the 80s, and I hate to say it, I was around back then, and I remember Ronald Reagan getting treated just like this by the media, that he was stupid, that he was dumb, he had no clue. Well, how did that work out exactly? Pretty well for Reagan, and, it looks like Donald Trump may be in that same company when it comes to the media's treatment of him.
Sure.
Look, so I think this is what's very interesting here, is that, a guy that's been in the business industry and been very successful, he's a billionaire, he's been in the entertainment industry. Look, he's president of the United States. This just in. You don't get there with smoke and mirrors, and
Sure.
I think a lot of times the media seems to forget that.
Absolutely. Instead, they fixate on his tweets and whatnot. And by the way, I'm looking online. I see you're involved in a Twitter spat with somebody from CNN right now. What's going on?
I like the word you use. I like the spat word. That's a good word. Well, look, Jim Acosta this morning came out and basically, I shouldn't say basically, he actually called David Marcosco, who asked those two questions to President Trump at the
From Daily Mail.
From Daily Mail in Poland this morning. He called him an ally of the White House, and he called it a fake news press conference. Well, shameful of Jim Acosta to do that. First of all, the two questions that Marcosco asked this morning were about legitimate news items. One that CNN loves to cover, which is the fake news story,
right.
And then the other one was North Korea. So how exactly is that fake news? That's the other thing. And also, the last time I checked, Hallie Jackson from NBC got a question as well. And so all of a sudden now it's a real news conference because Hallie Jackson is asking a question. I mean, we're going down a very interesting time in the media landscape.
That is an understatement. All right. David Brody from CBN. Sir, thank you very much for joining us.